Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts Key back cover cutscene commentary. It's time for us to go to this lovely fountain with Ava and see what is going to occur. And
Master Ava.
A somewhat important character here has appeared.
Hello. Your name is Ephemera, right?
So yes, this is Ephemera, who
Hey, can I join you?
has become, I think, a somewhat important character in Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key and Union Cross.
Did something happen?
Long day.
So I'll go into that all later. But as you know, new parts, exciting stuff. It is probably worthwhile to go over exactly what the plot of Kingdom Hearts Key is. From beginning to end, what you would have played on the mobile. You can't play it anymore, annoyingly, but hey, there we go.
Isn't it just because the master said so?
Yes.
You play a newly awakened Keyblade wielder, and you're given the choice of joining one of the 5 unions. You choose, you're brought to Daybreak Town, which is here, which is lovely, and you are then assaulted by an army of Heartless coming through a portal. Before the player is overwhelmed, their union's foreteller arrives, drives the Heartless back through the portal, and then a Dream Eater named the Chirithy, which has accompanied the foreteller, is tasked with aiding the player in their training and explaining their destiny. You must use your Keyblade to collect Lux and stop the Heartless from conquering every world and spreading darkness. You then visit illusions of future Disney worlds under Chirithy's direction, where you interact with the locals and help defeat the hordes of Heartless. As you continue, Chirithy explains that the foretellers has discovered a prophecy within the Book of Prophecies of a great battle in which the light would be defeated and the world would be consumed by darkness. To save the future, the foretellers began to use the book's powers to project the future into their era, growing more powerful to save the light from final defeat. Chirithy also converses with their union's foreteller and another Chirithy regarding concerning events. In Daybreak Town, you befriend Ephemera, who is another Keyblade wielder from a rival union, who wishes to explore the mysterious tower in the centre of town where the foretellers reside. You agree to help, but Ephemera mysteriously disappears shortly thereafter. Later, the player meets another wielder from Ephemera's union named Skuld, who is investigating his disappearance. The two also witness the foretellers fighting one another, believing there to be a traitor among them, and encounter Keyblade wielders who have been corrupted into Heartless, as well as the other Chirithy, who has been turned into a nightmare. Investigating the foretellers' tower, the 3 of you are caught by Ava, who challenges you to a duel. Once you defeat her, Ava reveals that she has been recruiting new members to the Dandelions, which she's just mentioning here, which we're also about to get a little bit more of an explanation of, I believe, at some point shortly, I hope anyway. So the Dandelions are a group of elite Keyblade warriors, strong enough to resist the darkness, who will be sent to another world in order to avoid being caught in the impending war and to help rebuild the world in its aftermath.
I don't believe he
Ava explains that Ephemera was one of the chosen and offers the same to Skuld and the player. Skuld accepts, but the player is uncertain. As time passes, other wielders accuse one another of stealing Lux, and the foretellers begin rallying more wielders to their unions to bolster their forces for the coming war. Seeking a solution, you, Skuld, and Chirithy seek out Gula, who believes the only one who could stop this is the Master of Masters, who had disappeared along with the 6th apprentice, Luciu. Ava tracks down Luciu, who claims he wants to see the end of the impending Keyblade War after discovering what is written on the lost page of the Book of Prophecies. When Luciu reveals the identity of the traitor and that everything has been part of the Master's plan, Ava attacks Luciu in a duel, ringing the clock bell and starting the war. Skuld returns to the Dandelions, and the player encounters Nightmare Chirithy, who claims responsibility for turning wielders to Heartless, and attacks their player before being defeated and dissolving into darkness. A few days later, the Keyblade War begins, and the player battles as long as they can before collapsing in exhaustion. The war ends with numerous Keyblades planted in the ground, forming the Keyblade Graveyard, and the player sees Chirithy, Skuld, and Ephemera approach them before losing consciousness. Sometime later, Chirithy awakens the player in the Enchanted Dominion, obviously Sleeping Beauty World, lying to the player that the events of the Keyblade War were all a dream. Behind a wall of thorns, Maleficent congratulates herself on travelling back to this past version of her world, confident that Sora and his friends cannot follow, and makes plans to conquer it.
To put it simply,
So, yeah, Maleficent can time travel, which is... that was a big thing. But ultimately,
any suspicious incidents recently.
it gets a little bit weird. Because then you get Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key / Union Cross, which ultimately, I think, takes you through
Supposed to find out.
most of the plot of the original Kingdom Hearts Key, but then sort of takes you further and changes things up a little bit.
But I'm the one who decided to do it.
So you get a flashback set before the Keyblade War, depicting the Master and Masters giving Ava a list of 5 Keyblade wielders who are to become the new Union leaders. He instructs her to give each of them a special rulebook to follow, along with a book of prophecies for one specific person. In another flashback, one of the new leaders chosen, Strelitzia, secretly follows you throughout your journey, being fascinated with them. As the war starts, and she realises the player is not a dandelion, she tries to find them and convince them to join, but she's ambushed and killed by an unknown figure, who steals her rulebook to pass themselves off as one of the chosen 5. After the end of the Keyblade War, the Dandelions reside in a simulated Daybreak Town, with all but the Union leaders made to forget what had happened. Ephma meets up with Skuld in the Keyblade Graveyard, revealing that they are 2 of the new Union leaders selected by Ava. They are met by 3 others, Ventus, Brain, and Laurium. So Ventus is in Birth by Sleep Ventus, Brain is in somebody random, and then Laurium as in the human version of Marluxia, which was just like, what? The 5 return to the Foreteller's Tower, where they agree to keep the world's destruction secret and form a new united Union Cross, to prevent the past from repeating. While speaking with Ephma and Skuld, Chirithy reveals that you have been having nightmares, with your memories of the Keyblade War beginning to resurface. Ephma warns that a stronger source of darkness is coming, and plans to strengthen Union Cross to stop it. Meanwhile, Maleficent is frustrated by her inability to undo her own defeat, but an unknown figure explains that the world is only a data simulation, created due to the Book of Prophecy's loss of power without the Master of Foreteller's present. Well, Master or Foreteller's present. Refusing to let her stay due to the damage her knowledge of the future could cause, the figure teaches her how to move forwards through time, which then puts her back into the timeline of Sora and his friends, which is interesting and fascinating and confusing because it's all sorts of confusing. Like, the second you start introducing time travel into your narratives, you sort of do start to lose a lot of things, and you've really got to think carefully about how your time travel works before implementing it. I'm not sure that Kingdom Hearts' time travel is the most well thought through, but I suppose it could be worse. Now, the story of Union Cross is still continuing. The most recent bit that we have is Laurium beginning to search for clues to his little sister Strelitzia's disappearance. So Strelitzia is Marluxia's human form's little sister, and turns to Strelitzia's fellow party member Elrina, i.e. human version of Larxene, for help, who starts her own investigation. After discussing with the other Union leaders, Ephma realises that Strelitzia had a connection with the player, which draws Laurium's suspicions. And, yes, it's quite fascinating that that's still going, and obviously we're like Kingdom Hearts 3 shortly, and honestly, personally, I think I would have been happier if Key and Unchained Key and Union Cross had sort of either stayed purely before the Keyblade War or remained not linked to the overall narrative of Kingdom Hearts, just because there's a lot of stuff going on there that is seemingly quite important. And while the franchise has, you know, had a wonderful time on all sorts of different consoles, and mobile phones are very, very easily accessible to a lot of people, obviously if you didn't get any of them at the start, then you've got a long way to go to get through all of the story, and that is unfortunate. and I don't think that it really is that helpful.
It's been over a year since the Master left.
And
it's time for me to fulfill my true role.
I think that it does just make things a bit of a pain. But we do get some quite epic fights from this point on in the story. There really is some great fight choreography throughout this, and it does make me quite happy.
Why do you get in my way?
Don't be so conceited. I'm protecting the balance, just like the Master told us to. You need to come to your senses.
If we don't do something, light will expire. Then we won't be able to avoid the grim future that awaits. We need to defy the Master's teachings to protect the world.
You're saying he was wrong?
He's not here anymore. I won't let his prophecy come true. I won't let the world fall into darkness.
You fool!
Ava, over here!
Envy! Asad! What's going on?
I found out who the traitor is. Regrettably.
No, that's not true!
Ava, there's no time to lose.
May my heart be my guiding key.
And so, right here, we found out that Gula seemingly has the missing page.
Master. Master?
I see.
If you're busy, I can always come back later.
Sure. Oh, no, stay. Now, where? Ah, here it is.
What's this?
Go on, read it.
This is from the Book of Prophecies. But
Yep. It's a page that's not in any of your books.
and what's written here is
Your role. You must find the traitor hidden among you, and stop them before it's too late. And in order to help you find the traitor...
I get it. That's why you gave us all different roles, isn't it? If anyone deviates from the job they were given, we can easily conclude that they are the traitor. It's brilliant.
Way to steal my thunder, show off.
Huh?
It's not fair. My plan was supposed to blow your mind with its grandeur. Your jaw should have hit the floor at my sheer genius.
I'm sorry? But was my logic flawed?
Oh, you're right. So, I guess now you've earned your time in the limelight.
So yes, Gula is the traitor hunter.
Even though there is a traitor, act
And,
normal and keep focused. Trust no one but yourself.
Yes, the Master and Master is a weird one. And clearly setting up a whole bunch of stuff. He's basically got that whole Thanatos, Xanatos, Gambit, whatever the hell the trope's called. But, yes, Gula is still trying to find out who the traitor is. And in the next part, we will see whether or not he manages to solve that mystery. Personally, I'm not sure he will, but you never know. We can but see.